All right. Good evening. Welcome to Sunday Night Live Stream with Casey Trades. Hopefully, everybody had a great weekend. Let's see if the stream is, in fact, working and running properly on X and YouTube. Weekend. Let's see if the. All right. Looks like we're live on X. Looking good over there. Let's go check the YouTube channel side. All right, looks like we're live on X. There we go. Looking good over there. Let's go check. And the YouTube side's good. Thing just turned down. Turn back up. That thing has a mind of its own. Look at that. It's my sign, my Casey trade sign. Dude, I swear it has a mind of its own. Sometimes it has this feature where the light will turn on when it hears music. So it'll randomly turn off, and then I'll like walk past my office and I'll be talking and it'll hear me talk and it starts flashing to whatever the pace that I'm talking at because it's on that music setting, which is kind of cool if you're listening to like EDM music. You just got like the bass going or like a good like kick drum, and then it's just like flashing to it, but it randomly does that by itself. I don't know. It's weird. All right, get the link posted and sent out. If you are here on the X live stream, if you could please like and repost the stream. It is going to be recorded and saved onto the YouTube channel, but also onto my X profile. So the more people that like and repost it, it is easier to find later for the ones that cannot attend this session live. So whether they're watching football, whatever games are on right now, they're at work, any other obligations they have to tend to at this time, if they would like to watch this charting session later on tonight or earlier tomorrow morning before next market open for educational purposes to see what names we're going to be talking about looking forward going into this trading week, they can watch it at their own time because it is recorded and saved onto the YouTube channel and the X account. So again, more people that like and repost it, the easier it is for them to find later on. So please do like and repost it. It's free. It doesn't cost you a fucking dime. So hit that button. Just like and repost it. That's it. And if you're not over on the YouTube side, go over to the YouTube side and like and subscribe. It is also free to hit that button. So we greatly appreciate it. We're about to hit, I think 2,000 subscribers here finally soon on the YouTube page. And we did cross over 45,000 on the X side. So let's go. Love and appreciate all 45,000 people who follow me on X. Absolutely love and appreciate you guys. So let's go ahead and jump into this. So first and foremost, we have some earnings this week. Let's go look at the earnings calendar. Nothing too crazy on Monday. Tuesday morning before market open, we have 3M, which is ticker MMM. You then have KO, Coca-Cola. I'm currently in KO calls, which are up around 70 to 80%. We have GM for General Motors, and then we have LMT for Lockheed Martin. After the close is the big one that most people are going to be watching is going to be Netflix. Also have Capital One and then Texas Instruments. So it looks like the main ones that I'm going to be looking forward to are going to be Coca-Cola, which is before market open, and then Netflix, which is after market close on Tuesday. Wednesday morning before market open, we have AT&T and VRT. A few other ones. We have CME, LHT, nothing too crazy. Again, the biggest thing is going to be after hours, which is most people are going to be looking for on Tuesday, which is going to be Tesla. So we have Tesla, we have QS, you have LRCX, which is Lam Research, you have IBM, and also LUV, and OOO O'Reilly. But the big one is going to be Tesla, which is going to be Wednesday after market closes. Before open on Thursday, you're going to have, for me, most important ones are going to be American Airlines, AAL, and Honeywell, HON. You also have FCX and T-Mobile. And then after the close, you will have NXT, NEM, DEC, Ford, and the big one, INTC, Intel. And Friday, we have HCA, GD, and PG. So nothing too crazy there. So big ones for me are going to be Netflix, Coca-Cola, Tesla, IBM, Honeywell, American Airlines, FCX, and Intel. So a little bit of earnings this week. So let's have some fun with some earnings. But let's go ahead and jump into a few of these charts. Appreciate you guys. Thank you for liking the stream. Thank you, Liv. Yes, my YouTube manager. Make sure you do like and subscribe and hit the notification on the YouTube channel. Also on the X side, that way you see all of my posts that go through. I've already sent out 4 charts earlier today. I'm not going to talk about all of them. Well, maybe I will. Don't know. We'll see how much time we have. But if you haven't gone over to my X page, make sure you do go over to my X page. You'll see a post from earlier today. I posted 4 charts on Dollar General, which is what you see here on the screen right now. Dollar Tree, DLTR, TGT, which is Target, and Gap. We'll probably cover all of those. We'll see. I have a lot of charts on watch. If you are in the premium Discord, you saw 2, 4, 6, 9, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26 charts I posted in my premium Discord under my Casey Charts channel. So I'm looking at a lot of shit for this week. A few of them do have earnings this week. I will go ahead and cover one of them. We're going to look at SPY and Qs real quick. As always, SPY, Qs, IWM, same 3. I'm not looking at, honestly, too much over here. We are still in the exact same range. There's nothing more that I really need to do right now. So I have my supply zone marked up here. We knifed all the way back down. We found support. We're back up. I mean, this is my main supply zone that I have currently on SPY. But obviously we are well beneath that right now. So looking at previous price action right now, if I were to draw a fib from the high to this low, we reclaimed the 618. That's what I wanted to see. So yeah, we're fine. So looking at SPY going into next session, big support is going to be down near 660 psych level. Big resistance is, for me, obviously everyone's going to be looking at 670. We're right in the middle at 665, but even closer than that, going to be looking at 666.8, which is going to be this spot right hither, right there. And then 660 psych level is right down here. So those are going to be the main 2 spots that I'm going to be looking at. I think if we can reclaim back above 666.8, we'll go up to 668 and then 670 psych level, and then we'll probably end up going back up near that big zone above from 673, 674. It's the same exact zone from last week. If we break back underneath 664, I would look for a $4 move down, honestly, back to 660 psych level. Underneath that is going to be 658, 657.5 is the next big zone kind of support, which is what you're going to see about right here. And then underneath that, 655, then down to 652. So going into the next session, again, for SPY, the main two things I'm going to be looking at are that 660 psych level and essentially up there near 668. We'll see how that sets up. As of right now, it looks like there's a potential squeeze on the 4-hour chart. 4-hour, nice higher low, but also getting lower highs at the same time so far on this chart. So look at that. Look where that trend line is going to roll right through. Not a coincidence, right? So that is going to be a key spot. I'm actually going to go ahead and set an alert on my chart. So if SPY starts to break above this 4-hour trend line and right here at that level, go up, hit these next two. Once it starts to get back above that 670 psych level, again, I do think we'll just go back up and hit that next zone. So we'll see how it reacts right here for that lower high trend line, if it can reclaim that. 4-hour squeeze as of right now. MACD is bullish. We did go a little bit oversold on Friday, October 17th, and we're pushing back up, not near the neutral level just yet. So that means we can go a little bit higher. So again, once we get up to that neutral zone, it's probably going to line up with right there. We're either going to reject it, come back down and go red, or we'll reclaim and push up higher. It does look like momentum is to the downside as of right now. So that's going to line up kind of perfectly. I think once SPY gets up near that 667, 668, we hit these two key spots. It's either going to be another lower high and rejection, come back down, or we'll do a reclaim and go back up to that 673, 674 area. So keep that on watch. The squeeze is to the upside, it looks like. The squeeze is still bullish as of right now. So it's been a 4-hour squeeze since pre-market on Friday's session. And it did not fire at all on Friday. We are in a daily squeeze, which is moving to the downside. So that is bearish, and it is currently red. So makes sense that it is red with the lower highs that we've had ever since the big drop that happened on Friday, October 10th. We did bounce, reclaim, still rejecting, putting in lower highs. So we do have a squeeze right now on the daily that is moving to the downside on SPY. So make sure you are keeping that on watch. So again, 667, 668 gets a fat rejection. I think that can be a great lower high short and take this market lower. A lot of the charts that I'm looking for big tech, honestly, your main names that most people trade, a lot of them look more bearish currently with where they're at than they do bullish. Market is still very, very strong. We are 100% still in a bull market. But a lot of names that I'm looking at are starting to curl to the downside and or putting in those lower high rejections. And I am seeing a lot of squeezes on higher time frames that are moving to the downside. Those can absolutely start to curl back up, go neutral. The squeeze never fires. It flips bullish, fires upside, new all-time highs. That is absolutely always a possibility. You always have to never go in with a bias, but for Qs, I mean, supply zone 607, 608. I kind of have this area marked right now, which is right up here. Big support is down here, just underneath 598. I'd say probably closer to 597, 596. So that dollar area. Go ahead and mark that zone up here. I kind of like to be like as accurate as possible. And that is going to be my demand zone right there. So that one's a little bit farther away, but for Qs, that's kind of the main one that I be watching. I'm actually going to make this my midpoint area here. So for Qs, main thing on watch, 597, 596 support. Midpoint is going to be 600 to 601.4. Supply zone is going to be 607, 608. It is also in a squeeze on the 4-hour time frame. You can go ahead and do the same thing. Hit that high there, hit that high there, boom. So very similar to SPY. Pops back up, going to hit that trend line, can hit that supply area. If it does reject for the lower high, then send that bad boy straight back down. So definitely keep that on watch. I am already going to go mark this bottom area of support. 4-hour squeeze is bullish, same thing that was on SPY. Still holding bullish. It is just pushing up, and we're going to see what happens when it does hit that area for the lower high. Look at the daily on Qs. Look at the last 3 candles right here. And look where the supply zone is that I marked, right? And then look at where the demand zone is that I marked. It's very clear on why I just marked those 2 areas. Look, my sign has a freaking mind of its own. Just turned off and back on. So look, that's the reason why I marked that supply zone there and that demand zone there. Look at the last 3 daily candles. It is from one to the other. Boom, boom, boom. So until we break out of this, that's the area. This is my demand. That's my support. That's my supply. That's my resistance. We get up there, reject. I go short. I get puts. Where am I going to take it to? Back down to the freaking support. Sell out my puts, and if we start to bounce and buyer step in, then that's where I get calls and take it back up. Do that back and forth every single day until one of these 2 breaks. Simple as that. Daily, same thing as SPY. MACD is bearish. As of right now, it's been bearish since the drop on October 10th, and it did just flip red on the squeeze indicator right here as well. So very similar to SPY. As for IWM, is hitting trend line support. I can go ahead and unmark these because we finally broke out of it. And that's because of friggin' Friday, October 10th. Midpoint's actually still the same. And we actually are, IWM is kind of stuck right now, but it is holding the support. Daily, MACD tried to flip bullish, but it closed that red doji, and I don't like that candlestick setup on IWM. I don't like that at all. I think that's a very bearish. Can be a very bearish sign. So don't like that. I do like that it's holding trend line. I don't like the candlesticks that are set up right there. If we break underneath like 241, 240 on IWM, I think it's game over for a little bit. This area right here, I think if we break back underneath that, we'll just get a quick sell-off down here, and then underneath that can get really ugly. So we break that low again, we'll get that move down here. And if you look where that Friday, October 10th bounce was, it was almost to the penny of Thursday, September 25th. And if we break that trend line and break this support, then we'll just, work our way back down the 230 cycle level. So IWM, the main thing I would say right now is 240 and 245. I'll go ahead and put 245 there. 240 should be near the bottom of that zone. It is right there. Get rid of this and this. So obviously, if it breaks trend line and breaks 240, and that's a break of structure, we go back down to that Friday low, which would be exactly 237.56. Hey, I was off by 2 pennies like that on a daily chart. It's not bad. That'll be first target downside. If it breaks that, then we'll take it from there. If it reclaims above 245, then probably ends up getting the move back up near 248 after that 250, and then the previous high, which takes you to 252.77. Again, daily MACD is moving to the downside. It isn't a squeeze. It is still bullish. The indicator is still blue. It has not flipped red. Not like over here where it flips red and then it actually curled back up green, fired upside, which is nice. See, that's what I'm talking about. How I just mentioned on the other chart where it can be bearish and it goes downside, but it doesn't fire downside. It stays in the squeeze after it hits, after it hits the support. And then look, it curls back upside. It goes from red to yellow, and then boom, look at that instant green stick right here. Squeeze fires, rips it upside, and then get a nice move. We're back above EMAs, and then starts to cruise higher after that. So it's absolutely still a possibility. Even seeing some of these squeezes move to the downside, or like spying Qs that are currently already red. They're already flip bearish. So gotta look at both ends of that. So that, as of right now, that's just all I'm looking at on the higher time frames for SPY, Qs, and IWM. A lot of charts. Again, I have 26 freaking charts that I posted earlier, and I'm not going to sit here and cover all of those. Let me check the chat. Care regional banks, regional banks very weak, hurting IWM. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. We were talking about the banks on the Friday stream with Wolf Financial. A lot of these bank names. We were looking at some flow, and I actually found some other financial stocks that I haven't heard about, and I saw some flow coming in, just straight put flow, and call selling as well. For those that don't know, selling calls is bearish, just like buying puts is bearish. There's a few names that I saw very weak to the downside. One name that looks very weak to the downside, in which I'm already in a position that's green. I did start trimming profits on, but still looking for continuation downside. It's ticker AFRM, Affirm. So had a massive drop, long consolidation, and then finally broke that consolidation here. Did a nice retest, and then boom, drop. I'm still looking for lower, looking for $65 on the daily chart here for AFRM. It broke structure back on Monday, September 22nd, and now is just absolutely getting a really nice red waterfall to the downside. So currently short and still looking for a little bit farther downside. If it breaks 65, it gets really ugly for this name. I think 65 is a great target downside. I think it'd be a great spot to look for it to bounce. Doesn't necessarily mean that it has to bounce at 65. Previous month candle, not the greatest after a huge push up, looking for a nice retracement. It is getting that now. Current monthly candle is getting that extra little continuation down. So looking for just a little bit lower on a name like this right here for AFRM. The main thing that drew it to me when it did break that trend line was nice little head and shoulders action right there. Right shoulder rejection lined up right over here, perfect with the left shoulder. And then within that, again, bear flag, whoopsies. Again, within that, you had this bear flag right here, and then consolidation, and then knife straight through it after it rejected the EMAs on the back test to form that right shoulder. So kind of a double whammy there, and a nice move downside. So still looking for a little bit more. TGT, Target, a lot of these things are going to be retail that I'm looking at. Walmart, the greatest company alive, is what keeps the stock market green on most days. If SPY's ever having a red day, I'm going to tell you right now, there's a 99% chance that Walmart's red. And if SPY is ripping, that means Walmart's most likely green. It's kind of just how the market works. If you want to know if the stock market's going to go up or down, just watch Walmart. So anyways, there's this other name called TGT, which is Target. So Target had a somewhat, that Friday candle kind of messed up a lot of things for some people. I get that. But overall, I do like the candlestick formation there, potential Morningstar reversal off that low. So it is in a squeeze. Also on the daily, which is moving to the upside. MACD has also been bullish during this entire period of consolidation. That's what I like to see whenever it's forming a base right here. A lot of things are starting to curl to the upside. It is fighting resistance around 90.91. So in my opinion, if TGT can start getting a move higher and get some daily candle closes consecutively with some good volume behind it, above 91 bucks, I do think it can really start to get that continuation to get the move up higher to 94 to 98. Right now, daily volume point of control puts it around 96.40, which is right in the middle of 94, 98 area. So again, start getting a push up and get some daily closes up here, kind of breaking out of all this consolidation here and all these rejections that it's having. If it can finally get some daily green candles closing up in here, up in here, up in here, it can get that move up to there, up to there, up to there. There's a huge gap fill in the daily to fill above 101.40. Do I think that's going to fill anytime soon? Absolutely not. Could it? Yeah, 100%. Believe it or not, my biggest options win of all time is actually on TGT outside of SPX 0DTEs. Trading SPX 0DTEs, it's easy to catch a couple 100%, and sometimes you get lucky and you make a 3,000 to 4,000% trade. I've only had that happen once, but outside of that, Target is actually my largest options win of all time for, I want to say it was 2,200% on puts. It was my largest win of all time. One of my very first wins trading the stock market was TGT. So always like to come back and reminisce and trade this name. So I like where it's setting up right now. Again, nice daily squeeze, bullish, moving to the upside off this morning star support. Again, get some green candles closing up here in this box. Would love to see continuation up here. So going to be potentially looking at call swings on this name. Along with TGT is DG. You have what can be a giant cup and handle. So I really like right here. This rejection right here and this rejection right here, this straight consolidation sideways, big green candle. If you've ever taken my mastermind class, you know I'm going to say next, that big green candle, right? That is the middle finger to the bears from the bulls, overtaking that area. Next candle retest, closes above. What happens? Lift off. Big green candle after that, right? Now consolidation all the way down here, and boom, this candle right here, retest it, get a long wick, pushes back up. What happens next? Boom, big green candle comes in next. So lower highs so far, lower lows after this big reaction. If it can break above the lower highs right here, forming this cup and handle, we'll love to see a push back up to that area near 113, 115. Overneath that, would love to see, or sorry, above that, would like to see 120. If it continues to reject underneath this trend line, then move back down to 96 and potentially a lower low. But overall, cup and handle chart pattern is a bullish sign. So it has not gotten the breakout yet, but potentially can. So this was one of the top potential bullish charts that I sent earlier, was this nice cup and handle here on Dollar General weekly chart after the SR flip over 96. So looking for, I'm going to go ahead and mark it on the chart so that way I don't miss it. Going to put an alert at 107.50. If it starts to break above 107.50, you get some right there. So it starts to break above 107.50, which is going to be that little line that's going across right there on the daily chart. Would like to start seeing continuation above that. If it does break above that, if it pulls back down and retest after the breakout back down to 105.75, 106, and buyer step in, that can also be a great spot to get long as well. It can do a breakout, retest, hold, and then go long. But if it does start to break above 107.50, that's when I'm going to start getting interested on DG for call swings. Little ugly twin sister to DG is Dollar Tree. So lower highs, big green candle rips through it. Look at that. So very similar to what I'm kind of talking about there on DG is you'll get the rip, you'll get the breakout, and then boom, you get the retracement, right? Higher low off the area where it just got the breakout at, which would be here. And then you buy the dip on the retest, which would be that candle there. And then boom, what happens after that candle? You get this green candle. So that's kind of what I mean when I was talking about DG there on that weekly chart. So Dollar Tree has already gotten the breakout over that trend line and is now getting the retest. So would like to see it continue to hold above 95, 96 bucks and get that continuation upside, go back up to 98, 100. 100 is going to be the big one. And then above 100, go to 104.30. There is a gap to fill on Dollar Tree daily chart if it does break above that 104.30 area. So would like to see continuation up here. Again, if retail names start to move, Walmart strong, Costco, your TGTs, just all these individual names, but mainly looking at, some of these retail names. And then Dollar General, again, looking over at Dollar Tree. If they're getting those bullish setups and they're strong and they're pushing higher, I think this is a great setup to take advantage of and capitalize on potentially some call swings here to get a move upside. So this is, again, just another one. These people have earnings this week. It is American Airlines. What day was it? What day did I say? It is Thursday before market open, American Airlines. So American Airlines was in this giant kind of bear flag or potential wedge, if you want to call it. And then here on Monday, September 22nd, big red candle broke down. Pushed back up, retested the EMAs, also retested the underside of the trend line, and rejected. Not once, but twice. Long wicks on both retests back up there near 1250. Slammed straight back down, getting a tweezer top back test rejection right there. So potentially looking for a move back down, breaking under 11, going down to 1050 area. So if continues to be weak, not only just looking at American Airlines, they do have earnings, but looking for a move back down to 11 to 1050 underneath that, then probably end up going back down to these lows $10 level. Just honestly, when it comes to these kind of names like this, look at the 50 cent and dollar increment kind of levels for targets. 1050, 11, 1150, 12, 1250, 13 is exactly like volume point of control here on the weekly. Big support right back down here at 850. You get a higher low right here off $9, right? Another one right off 950. It's just kind of how, I don't know, this seems to always work out that way. So potentially downside here on American Airlines. They do, again, have earnings on Thursday. Not saying that technical analysis goes out of the window on the chart when it comes to earnings, but earnings are a gamble. Earnings numbers can come out and be very, very positive. The stock can sell off. And then, again, earnings can come out and the numbers can be absolutely terrible. They can miss on everything and get a ripper up 5% later on during the conference call or anything like that. So it's always a gamble. But can't ignore the chart. I charted this before, and this is just kind of an update on the chart, and it did break it, back test, reject. So going to potentially look for that to come down. With that being said, you do have other airlines like UAL. So UAL had this little rounded top right here, trend line. Can you articulate a kind of slanted head and shoulders? I think you could. Right there, and then kind of where it's at right now off this bounce, that double top rejection right up there. Look, my light just turned off. Look, it's back on. Look at that. I think a ghost followed me from the Haunted Mansion. So you could articulate maybe a little wonky head and shoulders, but kind of an evening star-ish. A lot of crazy candles and volatility. It seems the last week or so on UAL candles, but this trend line right here, it did come back down, hit the support, wicked it back up and closed, and now it's sitting right there again. So if it starts to push back above 100 to 101, I'm not really too interested in it. If UAL starts to break back down underneath 97.50, 97.60, I'm going to mark 97.57. Starts to break down underneath that, look to come back down and hit this area underneath 95, going down to 93 as a potential target downside. So, just looking at some of the airlines in general, I think recently they looked really good off these areas of support. They got to push up, and now they just kind of came back down. Same thing with American. It had that really nice push up, but then they slammed it straight back down afterwards. So, similar potential thing over here with United Airlines. You could see some weakness on the airlines if they do start to play out some of these charts. UAL, DAL, and LUV. LUV has earnings this week, so you're probably going to get a lot of sympathy moves on some of these. So look at that. Look at that. Right off the yellow level, gets to move up, hit target 1, and then look at that. Went straight to target 2. Look, I don't know when the last time I charted that. But look at that. Looks great. LUV is actually going to squeeze on the daily. Holy shit, it's been a squeeze for a minute. But look, it's been back and forth, back and forth, back and forth all right here. Weekly, oh, Jesus. Ugh. Man, this freaking thing. I mean, that could be a giant bear flag. You can hit this trend line right there. It's trying to kind of hold. But that looks this giant red sell off here, and then this consolidation that's like right here. That could be a bear flag. So very, very interesting. So again, LUV has earnings this week. So you're gonna see a move in airlines regardless for these earnings. So weekly squeeze was moving downside, and on this green candle, it just had it flip back yellow, but it hasn't gone bullish yet. Monthly, oh my god, this thing is completely sideways. Looks decent though. Looks decent as in risk to reward to go long. The overall chart looks like shit down here, but we'll see. Not really too interested in LUV just because they have their earnings. I'm long. Everyone knows I'm long UPS. I keep tweeting about it and talking about it. I'm long as fuck UPS. I'll say that again. I'm long as fuck on UPS and call leaps right now. I said if it goes down to 82, down to 80, it's kind of near my stop loss area. It's come down to 82 and it has rebounded multiple times. Now we're back up here at 86. So I don't know about you guys, but it's basing down here, and I absolutely love the risk to reward to go long down here. My position just flipped green on the 2027 leaps after this is the longest diamond handed position I've been in. I think I bought it shortly after this huge drop that came in right here. I think I let it sit for a little bit, and I bought it at some point in time. I want to say maybe the beginning of September. So I've been in this trade for a month now, and it hasn't gone anywhere, and it came back down and to 82, and I bought some more of the position because I said that's where I would buy the rest of my calls down there for the leaps to a DCA, and it's been basing right there, and I'm looking for a move back up. So UPS is one of them. What was the other one I was about to pull up? Oh, weird name, Gap. I'm also long Gap. Never traded this name before. Premiums move a little wonky, not gonna lie, but higher lows right here. It's also in a squeeze that's moving to the upside right now. It has not flipped bullish just yet. Go to the daily. These lower highs right here, huge green candle just came in straight to daily volume point of control. There is massive flow. I wonder if I can actually pull that up real quick. When I say massive flow, the flow on gap calls for December is freaking wild. Let me see if I can pull it up. Let me see. Let's go to here. Like this flow is ridiculous right now on $24 calls for Gap. Um, a lot of crazy flow. The first one that got my attention was an order that came in at, I know you guys can't see it, I'm looking on a different monitor right now, it's $5 million worth of these calls at 140. They bought those $24 calls for $100 a contract, so 1.00 on the options chain. They bought 50,000 in the trade size. All right. 30 seconds later, another order came in for a sweep for 200,000. They bought them again at $1, so $100 per contract. They bought 2,000 size. And then after that, there was just a few more unusuals. There's a few sells as well, not gonna lie, on the flow. But if you look at the call versus the sell on that specific options contract, the difference I want to say is like 4 to 5 times more call buying than there is selling. And again, who trades Gap, right? And why? Why is this flow coming in right now on Gap? So I followed the flow and I entered into these calls for a swing. So looking for this break right here, honestly, above 2160. Would really like to see a move over $22. I think that's going to be a little bit more key going into this week. I think if you start to see Gap push above 22 and it gets daily candles above 22, this can really start a good move, or a good trend higher. And there is a massive gap fill above 2454. So if it breaks above 2454, there is a gap to fill to 2774. It's this giant freaking box right here. Not saying that can happen, but as of right now, they're freaking buying $24 calls for December. So they're giving themselves about 2 months worth of time to get this move right up here, potentially then going in the money, which lines up perfectly with this resistance right there. So it looks like they're targeting the same spot again, potentially. So I'm in it as of right now. Calls are green. They move very, very slow. So you'll get some really nice green candles on Gap, and I'll go look at that session. I took calls on Gap the second I seen this big ass candle come in right there. When I saw that big ass candle come in, I went straight to the Discord and I told them exactly what I saw on the flow. And then I later went and bought those contracts. This green move all the way up here moved my contracts like not even that much. I'll pull it up right now. Maybe 10%. I know they're for December. They're 2 months out. You need a little bit bigger move. And once they get in the money, if they go in the money, I mean, then they can start paying a little bit more. Yeah, 10% is what they went to. So more than just over 10%. They peaked at what? 12 and a half. So 10 to 12%, we'll say, is all those contracts moved from this green candle to this up here. So again, looking over 22 though, look at the move that would happen if it ends up hitting that target over time, right? Starts to break above here, gets that grind right up there, can get a really nice trade. And then if they go into money, right, and now the delta is getting freaking juiced on these bad boys because your delta is increasing and it starts to fill that freaking gap or push above 24 on the daily and weekly chart, I mean, then you're good. Then you're really going to start to pay. And they got plenty of time. So, I mean, if Gap over the next, 2 or 3 weeks going into the end of October, starting in November, they're in the money right up here and it hits that target and you get runners, you still have a month until they expire, say another 3 to 4 weeks, and it starts to fill that gap. I mean, you're talking perfect. case scenario right there. But definitely, something to take note of. So that is another trade that I'm currently in and still looking for continuation upside. I don't know. I think that's a lot. SPY, Qs, IWM, DG, Dollar Tree, Target, Gap, UPS. I mean, Jesus, like I said, I have so many freaking charts that I'm watching right now. Oh, UAL and Delta, those ones as well. I think we covered enough, to be honest with you. I'll just look at these two real quick because I talked about them and charted them before. Pepsi absolutely played out. Beautiful break of trend line, inverse head and shoulders, ripping straight up to target. One of our analysts in the Discord, shout out to Bishop, caught this move on Pepsi. Absolute freaking banger. While he did that, I traded KO, Coca-Cola, arch nemesis, for, sent this chart out last week too. Did it here on the Sunday night live stream last freaking week. Look, this is Monday, right there. That is the Monday candle. Guess where KC took calls? Because I had talked about it the night before on this Sunday night live stream. Right there. Why? Daily squeeze was bullish. Moving to the upside. MACD was bullish. Rounded bottom. Pepsi was looking good. I was like, fuck it. If they both go, then I like Coca-Cola to take $67 calls in the money. Because if it goes to 67 and they get in the money, that's not even the breakout. That's just the freaking top of right here. So I took calls here. They go straight to 67. Boom. It's been rejecting 67 the entire time. If they reject it, I'll make a little bit of money. I'll take the trim when the 67s go in the money, move a stop to entry, and then see what happens. But what happens? They rip it straight through 67. They then pull it back down, retest it, and hold it. What happens? Boom, big green candle, and then extra continuation. Now I'm up again. 70, I think I just talked about this earlier, 70 to 80%. Yeah, here's my runners. 75% on the KO. $67 calls for October 31st. So I have a little bit of time left. And they're up 75% and I'm in runners. And I would still like to see that continuation on Pepsi a little bit higher into that target area. And I would like to see a little bit more continuation on KO up to 69 bucks, potentially 70 if it wants to get a full freaking ripper and get this thing still going. But we charted that last Sunday. I hope people, looked at the charts, attended this session, or made money on the trade, whatever it is. We alerted in the premium Discord, and again, still in these runners. So lots and lots of charts, amazing charts. I also like DG on a fundamental basis. If we have a softening customer, DG should find a bit with the consumer staples. 100% agree, Will. 100% agree. Why are people not looking at rotation in sectors? So I made a post on TradingView. Made a post on X about TradingView. I put together an entire watch list. Okay, so over here, put together this entire watch list right here. And it has all of these symbols right here, all of these different sectors. Here's consumer staples right here, right? I sent out a link on my profile on X. And if you click the link on TradingView, it sends you this watch list right here. You should be looking at this watch list all the freaking time, every single week. When you click on these things, it's going to pull this up right here. All right. So this is, oh, look, consumer staples. Look at this right here, right? You can go click on it. You can look at the full chart, whatever it is. It will tell you how has this performed in the last 1 day, 5 days, 1 month, year to date, the whole 9 yards. You can then scroll down, right? And it will tell you the top holdings right here. Like I said, just joking earlier, Walmart holds up the whole market. Walmart, Costco, look, KO, look, Pepsi, right? All these freaking names. You can go to see all holdings here. And then look, scroll down in here. What's in here? Target, right? Dr. Pepper. We talked about Dr. Pepper on the last Sunday night live stream as well, right? Look right there. Boom. DG, Dollar General. Look right here. It will tell you shares, the change, market value, right? you can get all of these stats right here on all these individual names and see which ones, like look at right here. What is that? Estee Lauder, look at that, plus 12%. You can go down here. Like just look at all these different freaking names that are in here. You can see which ones are outperforming, which ones overall with the sectors, which sector has relative strength or relative weakness. If you're seeing a lot of these names right here, like up, 0.18%, 0.67%, 0.82%. That is the last change in these sectors. Look at the highest one. Which one stands out of all of these names? Not a single one of these are over 1%, except for what? Consumer staples, right? Up 1.33%. That's relative strength, right? So you need to be looking at where is money and volume rotating into, which sector is outperforming others. When you see that happen, you go click on that sector, go look at the holdings, go look at the names, and go start looking at those charts. Which ones are getting the volume? Which one is getting that flow, has that bullish structure, right? On a fundamental basis, like Will is talking about, and then execute on those names, right? You should be doing that. And if you're not, you're doing yourself a disservice. So long story short, I have a post somewhere on my X profile recently, and I talked about this on the Wolf live stream as well, where you can I put this watch list together. You click the link, and it sends it straight to your trading view, all right? So make sure you're looking at your sectors, looking at those names. A lot of people don't look at consumer staples, and I don't know why, because I'll tell you right now, when I don't see anything good going on in SPY or Qs, or like the main tech names that I like to look at and trade, my Amazons, my Apple, my Microsofts, and stuff like that. If I'm not seeing anything good over there, and by good I just mean higher quality setups or lower risk, higher reward setups, I go look at these freaking individual names, right? Look at your Coca-Colas, look at your Dr. Peppers, your Pepsis, look at your airlines, go look at your cruise lines, just go look at these other names outside of tech and see how they're performing. Do they have relative strength or weakness, right? I absolutely love doing that. Someone said a weaker looking chart to XLF, XLY, XLC, and XRT on daily time frame. Yeah, 100% with XLF and XLY. I really agree with that one as well. Do I have XRT? I don't have XRT on my watch list. I probably need to add that on there. So, but that's it for me, guys. Rolling up on almost 55 minutes here. We covered a lot of charts. A lot of charts. Hopefully the audio was good. I unplugged my microphone and plugged it into a different port within my whatever the heck you call this giant Apple box that runs my entire freaking thing, my Studio M4 Max, whatever. So hopefully the audio was good this whole time. So let's go check. We have 1,300 people who tuned in to this session. Appreciate everybody who tuned into this. Again, make sure you do like and repost it. It is recorded, will be saved here on X and onto the YouTube side as well. If you would like to come hang out with myself, my premium Discord, I have a community over here, almost 9,000 members. It is not only myself. I do have other alert analysts in there as well for day trading and swing trading options, also futures trading as well. I do live stream, live trade, and live teach every single day in the premium Discord community in front of hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people. So if you'd like to come hang out, get involved in a solid trading community, you can go ahead and click the link in my bio. You can also click the link that is on my X profile, and then there should be a link as well that's up on the stream right there. That'll take you to the website, and you can get yourself a 7-day free trial. Come hang out free for a week. Watch me live stream, live teach, and trade myself and all my other alert analysts, and see if it's a place for you. And if it is, then fantastic. It's $69 a month. I believe there's a few codes left for $50 a month if you use code KCT50. Whenever you do sign up for the free trial for the monthly, put that in and it should work. There should be a few left, so it'll get you $50 a month, which is fucking nothing for everything that we do that involves trading, education, just being a part of our community, and everything that we do. It literally just keeps the lights on for all the shit that we have going on over there. So appreciate you guys. I think that's everything that I wanted to cover. So we're probably going to have some crazy Trump tweets this week and some data coming out. So just be cautious of that as well. Audio was loud and clear, was a little low. I have computer speakers cranked to normal. Thank you. Can you post sector link in Discord? I absolutely can. Here, I'll do it right now while we're live on stream. Ready? Here. Let me do it right now. I'm going to retweet it. Let me see if I can find it real quick. I just built this thing. It's gotta be close. Let's see. Yeah, there is codes left for KCT50 as well. You can also use KC30 for 30% off anything. So if you don't want monthly, if you want like one-time thing for like lifetime or the annual, whatever it is, you can use that as well. I'll retweet that because it has the code in it as well. Where is the watch list post? Because I just talked about it on Wolf Spaces as well the other day when we were talking about sectors. And I posted that up in the nest. I need to like, there it is. All right. It's right here. All right. I'm going to repost this. And then whoever's in the Discord as well, let me go over to the premium. Actually, I'll just do it in the KC Trades engagement one. Sector watch list for trading view at everyone. All right, so if you're in the Discord, if you're in my Discord, I have a channel called KC Trade Engagement, right? And that's usually for all of my posts that I try to send out to get people to freaking click on for engagement, likes, whatever it is, or if it's important things, right? This would be one of them, like, repost, comment, you know. It's in that channel. I just posted it, so it's in there. And it should be at the top of my X page right now because I just retweeted it. So if you go to my page right now on X, it's going to be up there. And then I'm going to retweet the other one that has the code on it for the KCT50 and KC30, so those people know what I'm talking about. We'll just do this one. This one's close enough. This one has the KCT50 on it, and I'll repost that one. All right, so they're both at the top of my page on X. So, all right, 1,500 people on the live stream. Appreciate all you guys who tuned in. Let's have an amazing trading week. Don't blow your account. Don't gamble on earnings and lose all your freaking money. Trade high quality setups. Trade with good risk management. Don't trade with a bias. Low risk, higher reward trade setups only. Just stick to your rules. Don't trade with emotions. And yeah, last thing I'll end this on. I'm teaching my next mastermind class. I've already had a handful of people already sign up on Friday when I talked about it on live stream as well on X and YouTube. You can use that code KC30 on the mastermind. It takes 30% off that. So it's $200 for the mastermind class, and it's a one and done kind of thing. I teach this every single month. If you attend it one time, for all the next masterminds that I do teach in the future, you have access forever into the Discord for the mastermind class section. So you can tune in every single month when I teach another round of traders and students for a refresher. So you can go ahead and sign up for my mastermind class. It's in my store. Same thing where my Discord's at. With that same link that's up there, you can register for the mastermind class. and it's going to be this Saturday coming up. So in 6 days, and it's a 1-day thing, one class. It's for 4 hours. It is a long class. It is 4 hours, but it starts with absolutely nothing on the chart, and I teach all of my strategies and everything that I use to trade with nothing on the chart, starting from a blank foundation and then working our way up after talking about all these different strategies and setups, and ending with, full freaking charts and strategies, everything that we're going to talk about from start to finish. So I'm teaching that mastermind class again this Saturday. It will be taught live in the mastermind class channel within my Discord, and it is also recorded. So if you have something to do on this Saturday and you can't attend it, right, you can just get the recording. So after I finish the session, it'll be saved. I'm going to email it to everybody who registers, and you can have that recording from now until forever. So you can watch it whenever you get off work, whatever obligations that you have on Saturday, you can't attend the class, watch it later on. You could watch it in 2 weeks from now, a month from now. And if you need a refresher on something, when I start talking about maybe supply and demand, charts, chart patterns or candlesticks, things like that, go back and watch that recording. And again, if you take the class one time, I go teach that mastermind to another group of traders in November, you have access to go back into my mastermind class when I'm teaching it live. And if you're off that Saturday and I'm teaching it, you can tune in, jump in. You could ask a question, live Q&A, get a refresher on a specific topic that I'm teaching, and just hang out and just get that education, get that refresher back in. It's a one-time thing. You don't have to keep paying for the mastermind class over and over again for different classes whenever I'm teaching in the future. It's a one-time thing. You get the Discord rolled, and that's it. So it's my favorite thing to do is to teach this class. I speak very, very highly of this class because I get amazing feedback every single time, because I break things down in a very simple and easy way to understand for traders, and it really helps a lot of things connect with them or figure out what things they were missing when someone can explain it to them in a very simple way, and then we cover it right there live. So if you are looking for something like that, check it out. Again, it is probably the best thing I've ever created, is that mastermind class. So, all right, I'm headed out. Everyone have a great rest of your night. Premium Discord team, I'll see you here live in the Discord for live trading tomorrow morning, and let's have a great fucking